Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grapevine. Yeah. Did I say Grapevine? Welcome to the James and Owen Show.
Yes.
I mean, but of course, this show was born from the Grapevine.
It was born from the Grapevine of Sport FM, so that's why. No, the hangover. My guy had the hangover.
We just got off radio.
We just got off radio, yeah. So that's why James is still stuck there. But anyway, welcome back to the James and Owen Show, where we talk entertainment, and in fact, we talk anything at all that has to do with, if it's trending, we are discussing. Absolutely. That's how it works. So I think. First things first, let's, on a sad note, or like on a more sober note, two major Nollywood actors passed over the last few days or weeks, and we just want to say rest in peace to Seun Kuti and Mafia Folabi, as well as the Yoruba actor. Of course, the circumstances in which they passed, of course, would always receive some kind of commentary, but let's just say, may they
rest in peace, basically.
As everybody knows, one of the biggest that happens over the past few weeks, I mean, two big things: Seun Kuti, Hilda Baci. Not so good, very, very good. So, which do we?
I mean, let's start with Seun Kuti. That's like.
I think sometime last week, everybody who is Nigerian, maybe even more than Nigeria actually, saw that video of somewhere, I think on the third mainland bridge in Lagos, where Seun Kuti was talking heatedly to a police officer, and before you know it, bam, there's a slap.
Lefty slap like
was
this.
Was it left?
I mean, from the video perspective, it was left.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yes. As of course, video went viral as it had to, and there's been a lot of comments on it, a lot of responses, a lot of reactions, a lot of like, what the hell just happened? And now, again, of course, once that went viral, I think everybody knew that it would be ridiculous if the state, because let's face it, the police is an arm of the state, if the country did not say something about what had happened. And of course, like hours later, we heard that the IG had put out a statement saying that the man must be arrested. And well, the man was arrested. Well, he turned himself in apparently. Yes. And of course, even as turned himself in, trust Nigerian police, they still handcuffed him.
That's the part I didn't understand. Somebody showed up by himself and they still handcuffed him and they still put him on display, and moved him from Ikeja, I think, to Jaba.
Everything to Panti, yes. Everything that they do to everybody else.
I mean, they are trying, maybe they treated him, or they're treating him like a cop killer.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to treat him like an ordinary person who had done.
They paraded him too.
He actually is, yes. And then there was a photo where we saw him amongst other people sitting on the floor, which is, that standard early morning humiliation thing that the police does, where they arraign everybody who was there overnight on the floor. And there was a photo of Seun Kuti looking somewhat haggard in that assembly. So of course the thing has always been like, was it right? I think that's the first thing we must say here. First things first, we do not support or condone violence. First things first. But again, a violence against the state is always going to be a lot more trouble than it's worth. Let's just face it, You slap a policeman inside your house, nobody sees it. Maybe you might go free. But immediately that thing comes out to the public, there is absolutely, no matter who you are,
to be honest, a slap to Nigeria, to the president.
Exactly. So there is, we are not going to escape it. There's just going to be punishment. It's just a ridiculous thing to even think of, then to go and put it into practice in a public space. Anyway.
Because everybody, I mean, even the whole of Africa, the world basically, will be looking at the countries to see how they are going to react to it. You will hardly, I've not seen, I don't know, but maybe
you can't get away with it.
A civilian or a regular person will slap an American police in public.
They're in trouble now.
How? That's something that they
even forget slapping, whatever.
Resist arrest. I'm trying to be stubborn.
It's already a problem. You now go and
then slapping. So everybody, we all know that Seun Kuti has been very vocal when it comes to the situation of the country and the rights of the common man and everything. But and I mean, no matter how or who or how you represent the people, I feel like there's a level to the way you should. And so let's even come back to what really happened. According to reports, they said he was driving coming back somewhere, I think from the island or something, and then that car actually hit him from the back and moved on. And then Seun chased after that very car, like a pickup truck or pickup.
A police van. I think.
A police van chased after it. I mean, how can the Toyota outrun the Benz? Did you see the car? Seun's car. Seun caught up with it and then overtook and then blocked him and then confronted the driver. And that's where he now said, okay, he's even a policeman. And then was shouting. So, I mean, Seun's own defense or what he was saying was like, you want to kill me and my family. Seun was clearly in the car with his family, with his wife and daughter. And then it was clearly, you can see from that video that he was really, really pissed. I don't know what the policeman was saying to him. I don't know.
Yeah, but the policeman looked conciliatory, to be honest.
Yeah, but, slapped him. Now, there's another report that said that Seun gave him 12k to go and fix his car or something. I don't know what that story really is. That Seun gave the guy, apologized to the guy and gave him 12,000 naira. I don't know. But anyway, we all know that the IG requested for the arrest of Seun Kuti, and instead of him to even wait to come and be arrested, he went to report himself.
No, but they went to his house to arrest him. He wasn't around.
Okay.
Then I think that happened on a Saturday or on a Friday. They went 2 days apparently to find him. They didn't find him.
Okay.
On the Monday morning, I think he and his lawyer went to turn himself in. So I think that's how that.
Okay. So and then that's how he showed up. But then a follow-up report again said that the police went to search his house and they found some things.
Oh yes. They said that yes, they seized his phone or his wife's phone or something, and then there was all kinds of things. So of course it's an ongoing story because of course certainly I think they're going to take him to court. Okay, apparently they took him to court actually, but apparently they wanted to keep him longer, but the court said they can only keep him for 48 hours or something, and after that they need to of course the trial and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would have to see what happens.
They said the possible charges will be battery and assault.
Of course, certainly. But what they did say was the man was, I heard that, I don't know if it's true, but apparently they were claiming that the police officer is now in coma, which of course is just like a way to get the court to like give it a more heavy punishment to Seun. I heard that, which is ridiculous. Of course, there's no way the man is not in coma or anything, but apparently that's what they said. The police said. So, but whatever the case is, it's just like a wrong move. I know you're angry, I know you're whatever, but your head is still on your head. You really need to think about what you are doing. You're slapping a police officer. You are in trouble now, Even if it's not a regular guy, and there's also a video of it, and the person wants to press charges for assault.
The person can, yes.
Then you now go and suppose an arm of the state.
So I thought.
I mean, just
no. Ridiculous. So now, always another thing I'm seeing right now that's happening is people more like supporters or friends now posting certain videos of the police brutality against the common man, and as a defense or as their own part of saying that the police too have been very unfair to the people and everything. But if you still look at it, the police have been extreme or can be extreme in their own ways of carrying out their duties. But for example, I saw one of the videos that was posted of them trying to, in fact, not like trying, they seized a bike, Okada, from somebody, and they were also beating up the guy and stuff. And but if you look at it, the state banned Okada riders on certain roads. So if they find you riding on those same roads, they are going to seize your bike. And what if you pose a resistance? There's a tendency that they will end up beating. I mean, it's what it is. We know that the police have been. They are the law. They are the ones. They can misbehave. They do whatever they carry out these things however they want to carry out and try to defend the way they want to. But you see, we live in a system where if you do the reverse, it's still going to be an offense on you. You are still going to be in trouble about it.
Yes, the fact that they have done wrong doesn't mean that your own wrong will not be treated. It's unfortunate, but that's kind of how it goes.
Exactly.
And to be fair, there's a certain, it's ridiculous, but I must say this, there's a certain method to that madness. The fact of the matter is that if everybody goes around slapping the police, if everybody goes around disrespecting the police, you are kind of setting like a precedent for anarchy, where the center will not hold. There's just going to be wala everywhere, because it means that what if I go and steal in that guy's house? Who's going to tell him? Who's going to check me?
Nobody.
So yeah, so it's one of the things why we say even if we have a bad police, the police is still important. It's just how it works. it's terrible, but the absence of that police is kind of what is keeping a lot of people still where they are, or rather the presence of the police what is keeping people, or keeping certain level of peace,
law and order,
really, exactly, in every community, you know. So let's not forget that, even if we understand how terrible, to be fair, the police has been to like the average Nigerian.
Then let's not also forget what Seun is supposed to represent, or what he represents. He represents justice for the common man, and concern for the common man. But I feel like the way he has carried out, or the way what is
the way he's going about it,
does not in this situation. I don't know how I want to look away, or want to justify, or want to
what he's done,
water it down or whatever. I think Seun needs to admit the fact that what he has done in this situation was just wrong, and regardless of how much or how the people that are supporting, or more or less trying to stand Seun Kuti, please, we need to be honest about this situation and just know that no, it cannot fly. Now imagine if it was another kind of officer who was also armed and doesn't give a damn.
It's not exactly. It's not even. Or maybe not even one. There are maybe like 3 of them in the vehicle.
Bro.
You slap the guy who is standing out to you inside. The other 2, they have guns, or they
don't.
What? I mean, do you understand?
Okay, maybe let's say this particular officer acted based on recognition that he knows, this is Seun Kuti, and decided to, because we also have to consider the fact that guy was like a man. Probably older than Seun Kuti himself. Do you understand? At least you would have looked at it from that perspective and say, no matter how angry or no matter how upset you are,
I don't care. Even if that guy is a 5-year-old, you cannot be slapping somebody who is wearing a freaking
uniform. You know.
So you know who he is. You know what he stands for, and you are still.
It's just somehow. So
there's no.
I don't know how else you want to, but I just don't think that Seun is justified.
Anger is not an excuse. There's nothing. Honest, there's nothing you can say.
Because yes, he said. I mean, Seun said he endangered, or he tried to
endanger his family.
But we thank God that did not happen. I just feel like slapping the guy at that point in time while he was on uniform is just
it's just there's no way that any reasonable government would let that kind of a thing happen and then just say, hey, you tried. No, it's not possible. Nowhere in the world will what Seun did not be punished. There's absolutely no way. So yeah, it's but I think this lessons for everybody.
I hope that his lawyers will be able to at least get a good deal.
I'm sure they can. I'm sure they can figure something. The good thing about Seun is that, well, to be fair again, another reason why he could do that is because he is Seun Kuti. If he's Seun Afolabi, if he's Seun Silas, I pray Seun nothing is happening. No, he will be in the bigger trouble he's in.
Handcuff. What's handcuff is nothing now. You
Exactly.
will see his face. You will see his face swollen. Even while he's sitting there, the police will tell you that. I don't know.
And
maybe he had a reaction.
The only reason why he even did what he did. If Seun was from most other families in this country, he would not have had the nerve to go and slap a police officer. And he has even made whatever. I saw a video where he was saying back in the day where he was saying that how many officers I have slapped. Just ridiculous. So this is just like, it was like it is time for the chickens to come home to roost. And there was a video of it. So that's kind of what has gotten him this kind of what's going to come is going to come. And let's just.
We still wish him all the best, though. I mean,
we do. To be fair, by the way, I'm kind of a Seun supporter. By the way,
I am.
Yeah, it's just that I feel like sometimes I'm like some of the things he takes on. I'm like,
Baba,
maybe not like this.
I like you, but I will not follow you to that place.
Exactly, but not be like this, I like what you but maybe not like this. Because even people who have been angry with him have been saying that during the whole election, he was against Obi, and as everybody knows, Obi supporters online are super.
They go all out.
Eager, exactly. So anyway, Seun, good luck to you, but you deserve what you get. Let's talk about Hilda. Yes, the woman of the actual moment. Of course, she's done it. I think we who followed over the 4 days where she was cooking, we saw all of that. But the job is still not done. So we say, I'm sure the media, online, social media too, have been saying, hey, she has broken the record. We hear you. The video is out. We have seen people follow it on Instagram Live, blah blah blah. That's fine. However, for it to be official, we need Guinness World Records to say, hey, this has happened, and then it gets into their database. As it stands, that part of the equation hasn't been recorded yet.
Officially.
Exactly. So we don't know. All we know is that, okay, he did it for, I think I said 100 hours, 100 hours and 40 minutes or something. Yeah. So that is done for us. But of course, we need to now wait for Guinness Records to say, you know what, okay, to validate what has happened.
Actually, yes. Indeed.
And me, like I said, me that likes to find trouble. Me, I've been saying that yes, if Guinness was a Nigerian company, would anybody be shouting like this all over the place? I doubt it, because we have agreed between ourselves that Nigeria cannot endorse anybody's greatness. Nobody seems to be. Yeah, unfortunately, yes. Nobody seems to be able to like say, you cannot say you're a great person if it's Nigeria that says you are great. You know, we always need foreign validation to say, you know what you have done deserves to be said. Okay, you are great. Like the example I gave online was, look at the elections. Shit in certain regards. You know, the past elections. You know, but yet INEC went ahead to announce the whatever it is. People who saw that there was trouble, they did not tag Buhari. They were tagging the US embassy, the US government handle, or tagging the UK's handle, because it looks like even for something as important as the elections, you know, which we are supposed to be electing someone who's going to lead this whole big fucked up country, we still knew that, you know what, if Wala happens here, Nigeria cannot save us. We need to look abroad. And even now, one of the biggest things we've had over the past week is the US government saying that they are going to ban certain individuals who undermined the Nigerian democracy. So again, America is helping us solve our problems. Meanwhile, in the same country that we are in, we have certain anti-corruption bodies. But everybody knows that, you know what, you cannot depend on these people to come and save us. So yeah, so in something as the most important thing, which I think is electing the country's leader, we understand that we can't save ourselves. In giving people greatness, whether in cooking, whether in music, whether in movies, or whatever it is you're doing in this country, in sports and athletics, if you win Nuga, nobody will say you're great. You say, oh, you try. But that greatness, no. You have to go and win Olympics
before they say, okay, you know what, or IAAF. And all of these things are not things that are like Nigerian created or Nigerian based. You know, we have not managed to make anything that somebody as far as in the US will say, oh, the Nigerian body, blah, 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 said we are great. If today there's a best Afrobeats music award, and there is a Spanish guy who is in Afrobeats music, and that Spanish guy is supposed to come to Nigeria to come and, if we say best diaspora musician, that person is supposed to come to Nigeria to come and say, hey, you won this award. The Spanish person likely will probably not show up because they don't understand that as even if we own the sound, we can say you are great. So I think that one is a really disturbing thing. A big country like this, our resources, our talent, everything, and we have not been able to create anything that has global resonance and still belongs to us. Today, one person is going to do this Nollywood award, or going to do this Afrobeats award, and I can tell you that person, if the person is in the US, he will get a lot more validation, a lot more respect than whoever does it here, because we just know that in Nigeria, either somebody will say, you're for my tribe, you don't go get an award. They go say, people are rich, you cannot be great. Several things just come into play in Nigeria. Or somebody say, okay, come, if I give this person this award, he will give me a contract. All of these things that come into play, and so it's difficult for anybody to trust a Nigerian platform to say, you know what you have said really is how it is. So that's why, of course, Guinness World Records is British, and we kind of know in our head that, okay, it is British. Okay, certainly they are not going to be trying to scam anything. So okay, so that's fine. So yeah, that's the part of the Hilda Baci thing that kind of disturbs me, because we have people who are ambitious, who want to do great things, but we don't have platforms that can celebrate them. I mean, to add to what you just said about, especially when it comes to Afrobeats, talking about awards, and that would just clearly explain again why a platform like The Headies decided to move the award to America to host the award there, so that just in case people that want to get validation from America, we are in America, that's where so I mean, that just tells you the struggle back here in Nigeria. Just a matter of time, hopefully things will get to that level where we start believing in ourselves and actually knowing that we don't need people outside to validate our greatness or validate our achievements.
Well, I have to say, I'm not as optimistic. I don't think we'll ever get there.
Well, whatever, man. but we know, at least we followed to see that Hilda Baci actually did what she did. And whether the Guinness, look, okay, personally, I always say that I'm not somebody who, I don't believe in anybody's validation. I'm confident in myself and what my achievements and what things I do for myself. If I'm true to myself, or if you maybe if you are true to yourself, you understand how much work you put into a situation to achieve the result that you've achieved, then you know that you may not need anybody's validation to say this is who I am or this is what I am, because did she cook for the amount of time or the stretch of time that she has cooked for? Yes. Why?
No, but no, James. Yeah,
let me hear.
Yeah, because why? The question is, did she cook for the? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but if Hilda wasn't looking at getting into the Guinness World Records, the question is, would she have done it? No.
Okay.
Hilda can cook. Everybody knows Hilda can cook, and that's why she's making crazy money since with what she's been doing. But the fact of the matter is that it's one thing to be great inside your house, inside your bedroom, inside your bathroom. Like all of us that can sing inside our bathroom. We are all great singers, we get. It's another thing to be able to show up and say, okay, I'm putting out a record, and having people say, oh, I like it. Because when you put things out, you definitely are opening yourself to judgment. You know, that's one level. It's not another level to say, okay, you know what, I want to get 1 billion streams, I want to get 10 million streams. It's another level to say, you know what, I'm Nigerian or I'm South African, I want to get the Grammy. This is how these things kind of work. So you're fine. You can validate yourself inside your bedroom, is one thing. But we all know that to be a world beater is not to run 100-meter race inside your house or by your backyard and say, yeah, I can beat Usain Bolt. It is to actually go to the Olympics and get that 9.69 record that guy has. 1 under 10 seconds where everybody is scrutinizing you. You get? That's how you know greatness. Otherwise, all of us can do in our house and be saying, which is probably the problem we have as a people too. You know, I always say that part of the issue we have as a people, only too few people care about greatness. Most people care about money. I understand it's a poor country, you know, but I think that we need to get to the stage where a lot more people are keen about greatness, because it's not just about art or athletics. It's also about politics, about the most important thing, which is who gets to lead us as a people.
Yeah.
If you only care about money, it means that you will do what you can to get in there. But once you get in there, you know what you're focused on. But if you care about greatness, to be a statesman, to be somebody who is in record books and say, hey, this is the person who changed Nigeria's story, you're getting in there trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to fix this? But this problem of like focusing a lot on money, focusing on what your family and whatever it is will say about you and what you get, means that we are never thinking about this bigger picture. I just think as a country, we need to figure out, we need people who are clear glory hunters. They don't mind money, but their focus in this life is like, we want glory.
Okay, I mean, moving on. When you think about Shantizo, I mean, what comes to mind? So I mean, I don't know.
I don't
know what brought about the tweets that he. I mean, maybe I think
he wants to get a record or something.
Yeah, he wants.
Or maybe he saw a tweet too that was kind of attacking him and saying stuff. People would have been kind of tweeting,
and he would have been seeing lots of. I mean, he said it as well that he got messages that got him depressed. Some people were just trying to break him and stuff, you know. And I can understand the struggle that when he came into or when he stepped into the industry, he like in a short time, maybe in a year or what.
Yeah. Among his peers,
like
Sean was one of the people to
fired up to #1 already.
Yes, got the Headies Next Rated Award. Got the vehicle.
He had a fantastic album.
He had a great album.
He had a great. Maybe 1 year or 2 years.
Yeah, a slew of singles that were like superb.
Just up there,
you know,
as he stepped in, and then right after that, he crashed
and
badly as well.
As you can imagine, people on Twitter clearly, once he said, have maybe making comments, not be you, and this person start that they see how far you know, and meanwhile you still there. I feel like those kind of comments are incredible. They are not false, but they can be incredibly harsh, especially if any day, to be honest, if you're Shantizo, or if you're anybody who was big at a point, and maybe you had like 6 peers. Of those 6 peers, 3 of them are doing super well. You and somebody else, or maybe only you are the one who hasn't had even half of the careers that they've had. And somebody says that to you, there is no way you will not feel incredibly bad. So I imagine that someone like him has to deal with those kinds of tweets like on a regular basis. And just like, you know what, it's not my plan. I did not plan to not be in the same level as my peers, but man proposes, as he said, man proposes and God disposes. So, you know, but he just takes everything.
How easy is a comeback in this our industry today? Because when you look at Shantizo and how much or how long ago he has actually been off the scene, and then, you know, the funny thing is that even in between, before now, I see that Seun Kuti was trying to put out records and stuff, but
he's
just
putting out records, a lot of records.
Attention. He didn't really get any attention, you know, in terms of whether people liked it or whether even we shot videos, even we did some videos outside the country and stuff, but it still didn't cut in, you know. So I mean, I can just only imagine his frustration because the guy is actually still young, and
yes,
you know, you just think that why? So what's the problem? And then he's looking at these other guys who are putting out records and making music that is going way out of. I mean, look at where an artist like Rema is right now. Look at, you know, doing big shows on big platforms and I mean, name it. Arasta, do you understand? These are artists who are
younger than he is.
Yeah, you know. And then he made a major impression when he had that moment, and right after that, it looked like who's Seun Kuti? People asking who's Seun Kuti? I can understand how I can, you know, I can feel his frustration, and then with the whole tweets, people hitting him back. I mean, sometimes you just want to even just have an opinion about something random, and then people just look at you, what's wrong with this one? You that your career, and they just go on in, you know, it can be crazy, and I feel sorry for him, because I don't see it shouldn't be, it only happens, I feel like it happens. Maybe I don't know if it's Africa or just Nigeria, where people just want to talk down on you for just no reason. Now, also, I see a situation here in our own industry where artists, even as young as they are and stuff, after how many albums, and maybe you just decide, okay, maybe you want to chase other things, or maybe you stopped. People just think that you are failed in life. I mean, I look at somebody like Nato C, who had a great one as well. You know, when he was very, very active and tried to do something else, or you know, I don't know if I'll say the music, I don't know if he stopped music or just the music just didn't pop or anymore. But bottom line is that he had done well for himself. But these days, if he decides to come back now to put out new music, I feel like he may not get the attention that he might assume that he will. Well, this time will come to a point where you know you cannot just assume. It means that you have to do the extra. You have to do. Strategize way beyond the regular to get the attention of people right now. And then you have to also be ready to behave, or maybe put out the music like a newcomer. Because if you go and assume that you had the position, these guys or these streets just even deliberately just say, okay, you think you are a bad man, and they will ignore you, you know. So how many artists can we say had really pulled a comeback after leaving the scene for, should we say, some years or some time?
Yeah, I think maybe 4 years. 4 years is almost impossible to come back. If you leave like for 2 years or more, nah, you won't. I don't think anybody has succeeded in leaving the scene for 2 years and returned at the level that they were again. Then people who have left for a bit, somewhat, not really, but somewhat for a bit of time, but came back and have at least some small relevance, include maybe only 2 people actually, One Day Cool and P Square. I think they're the only 2 people who I would say left for some time. But I don't think anybody
has not done for their record, because I don't think they've done any song together now. That
they have now.
Which song?
You still say that put your hands up in the air. Jai had some small, not massive success. That's why I said not to the level you were once, but you even have some kind of small relevance. And let's face it, they have not a lot, but they have some relevance.
They do. No, they do as P Square. P Square is just
exactly,
P Square.
Yes,
I'm saying with the record, you know, can we say okay?
Yeah, with the record. So until maybe they have an album, then we can really compare. But they had 2 singles, and one of those singles seemed to have done reasonably well. Right. So we can say okay, at least they
because
tried.
One came at a time where we are still celebrating them coming back together, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So they've not done. Yeah. So no, the 2 came at that time. Only this one was on our popped. Yes. So we have to now say, okay, if they put out a body of work, if they put out more singles, then we can now say, okay, are they back or are they not back?
Yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that their P Square is just back.
P Square is P Square.
But there's somebody I need to mention right now that I'm concerned. Reminisce has not put out new record in a while. I think after.
But he has though.
IG before, OG before IG. I don't know if that's
okay.
Do you understand? So after that record, I don't think he has put out another record. If he has, you see, if it's not coming to mind right now.
You know, but you're right. You're right, exactly. The thing again with Reminisce is that I don't know, his career has been a very funny one. Reminisce has had like his heaviest success in quotes has come on the streets.
Yeah.
If you look at Reminisce's YouTube numbers, nothing to write home about. Even the big, I don't know if you say which was among the big Reminisce hits, solo hits. Maybe
solo. Oh, no,
yes.
let's
Solo.
not
Okay,
don't say solo. Just say songs.
No, but his own songs, not somebody featuring him. Even his own.
That's what's it called again?
No,
that one's with Davido. That's what I'm saying. Let's not say it's solo.
That's what I'm saying. But that one is his own song, so we can say that one. Yes.
Yeah, he also has the one that he did. But gosh, man, he had this is album Alaga Ibile.
Yes.
God, is it Alaga or Alaja?
Alaga, no, it's Alaga. No.
Alaga. Fantastic.
Baba Fusa. No, he's had a bunch of really good albums.
So he has.
But my point is that Reminisce's figures.
Yeah.
On whatever.
On the streaming, not the streaming platform now. Or
I'm saying on YouTube, the videos.
On YouTube, okay.
9 years ago, look, I bet it's probably one of his highest with the one with Davido, 1.5 million for views. How many years after? He just has never had great views. That is his own song. It's just, I don't know. I would have always wondered, like, how?
I feel like mainstream, like he had the what's it called? Accolade. He had the attention. We saw him.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He got endorsement. He had like major endorsements.
That's what I'm going to say. Yes, that Reminisce's, unlike Olamide, who you say that from streets broke into like mainstream.
Yeah.
I don't think Reminisce really succeeded in doing that best on a certain level. So his own success has always been like heavily on the streets. All the songs that we are talking that have really low whatever. Look at on YouTube. He only has 68,000 subscribers. The way we think about Reminisce is different from the way he appears on places like YouTube. It's just so funny. The gap for me is always just
so
another
thing another thing I see that has happened over the years when it comes to YouTube particularly.
Yeah.
The artists have not really paid attention to what they can do with YouTube.
No.
They just release the record.
Yeah, but no, you would say that Olamide, Wizkid, Fino, Reminisce, they are kind of on the same generation in quotes.
Yes.
Reminisce is probably the person who has the least views on YouTube among these people. So for me, it's just like, but how come? This biggest song, like I said, Pomile was big.
Pomile was
it's not a million views.
Wow.
You get? Fantasy, 80,000.
Wow.
It's just like, okay, but how come?
Like why?
The one with Olamide's government, 290 something thousand. I look at it once, I was like, this is such a strange thing. Kakobi Chicken. I don't think that one has even gotten up to, that song?
Yes,
one of his biggest.
Kakobi Chicken. That's it.
105,000 views.
Oh wow.
So I don't know. So Reminisce's one has always been funny to like grade Reminisce by online numbers. It's just weird because it doesn't reflect at all. He's doing worse than anybody else of his own, of what we think of as his level. So Reminisce is also a very peculiar category of.
So that's somebody that I'm saying that has not been.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to say there. So it looks like but because Reminisce was never really mainstream, he can always just be working on this is low level and it's a single here, a single there.
Mid-level.
Exactly, just be just be doing what he can. But the people who have tasted extreme success, with extreme success I mean like the numbers on streaming platforms are high, the video numbers on YouTube are super high, they get regularly talked about on social media either by gossip or by record, whatever it is you're trying to do as well. All those people, whenever you've reached that level, then you disappear for a bit or more. There is no comeback. So
let's talk about, still on this, how I think an artist like Olamide has survived over the years too. Apart from the fact that he bombarded the industry with
that's the only factor.
Albums and hits. No, but recently what he's also doing is tapping into the new generation.
So Olamide of course after, because like I said, I was saying it earlier, Olamide had like I think 7 albums if you also add the not mixtape. One EP, but one joint album called Two Kings with what's his name, with Fino.
Yeah, is it 1 or 2?
He had
the EP as
Two
well.
Kings.
That,
I'm talking about it was an album, like 17 or 16 tracks. Two Kings back in the day. In like a 7-year period, Olamide had like 8 albums.
Yes.
If you combine whatever, it's like 7 years or 8 albums. So Olamide's method, which by the way, he seems to have prefigured what will happen in terms of like this singles generation that we are in, that you cannot let these people rest. Back to every year, Olamide had an album, every single year. So it meant that it saturated us, like there's no way you're going to escape Olamide. It was just not possible. And all of those albums would have maybe 2 or 3 songs that became big.
Absolutely.
So that was Olamide's strategy as an artist. Of course, when he now started to chill, according to said, the debate whether his next album is going to be the last one or not. When he now started to chill, what he then did was like focus more on YBNL. Have these artists who somehow might become the future, and then maybe do a little some features with them, and just keep the YBL name and his own name somewhat there. Of course, everybody knows now that even as Olamide has taken a backseat, Asake is possibly the #1 street pop artist in Nigeria. Since his last year to this particular year, I think he's the #1. Nobody is not even arguable, you get. So of course it now means that Olamide might not be in your face. Kind of the last big Olamide single, but you know that Asake is doing incredible numbers. So I think that's the strategy that he used in his own time, Bombard, which by the way is what he has also now done with people like Asake.
Yeah.
There's an album, like back to back videos. Album, you're like, album has started going down, yeah. Release another single. You get? So somehow puts out that record. That same work ethic that he had, he transferred it to his voice. Look at Fireboy. Fireboy is how many years old in the industry? Maybe 4 or 5 years. He has 3 albums. How many other artists anywhere has that amount of, like, you know?
I mean, one of those years, he had 2 albums in a year.
Like a 12-month period.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
So you see, so he just transferred that same whatever and say, you know what, guys, this is how it works now.
Jagaban. He had the blueprint.
Exactly. Like, you know, guys, you know, this is how this thing would work. Yeah, because Asake know the game, no breathing space now. He did yoga, whatever. Now there's 230, you know. And this is somebody that just last year had like an album. So yeah, that's kind of what he's now done. Like, you know, guys, you need to put out this record back to back to back.
We need to round this thing up, but before we go, we have to talk about Davido, who said
yes, that Drake was instrumental to the spread of
very instrumental, and you know, and the spread, is it the spread or the growth of Afrobeats music around the world? And I mean, no doubt.
Yes, people want to argue because again, for some reason, Nigerians feel like if you admit that somebody helped you, it means that you are undeserving or like you are not as great as you were.
Yeah.
It is not true. Afrobeats music is a great form of music, but let's face it, a number of people who are not Nigerians, who are not Afrobeats artists themselves, contributed to it. And I think the #1 person we cannot deny is Drake.
So this is the thing. People need to also understand the context of of what is being communicated. That Drake is one of the people. It's not even about who was #1.
He's the #1.
Because before Drake, we've had the likes of. In fact, if we take it way back, we had when Beenie Man was major, was heavy. We had Two-Face. We had Two-Face collaborating with Beenie Man.
I hear you, but
yes. That was in the era.
I don't think it counts.
Yeah, okay.
Because I don't know that.
Fine. Yeah,
yes,
that's what I'm saying. I'm going to say that was in the era of social, digital streaming and all of that.
Yeah, it probably did not go as fast. It wasn't. And again, this thing is about 2 ways. It's like something. I mean, I don't know. Was I the one interviewing him or did I read this song? I can't remember if it was my interview. But anyway, at some point, I know that Remini said something about how he doesn't want to feature all those people who are. They're asking him that doesn't he want to go and get like an Oyibo collaboration, and it was like, why? After all, if he does it, the people will become popular here, but he cannot get popular in their own side. So that's the other thing about to remember is that a lot of the collaborations that we used to do before Drake showed up was where we were on songs that made their own Oyibo artists maybe not popular, but at least more better known or whatever it is over here. But none of those songs cracked even like top 1,000 in their own place, which was the goal, which should have been the goal. Well, not should have been. Which should have been the next step.
Supposed to be.
No, but wait. Remember again that especially at the time P Square was doing stuff, a lot of what you feel like what they were trying to do was to make Nigerians understand that, oh look, we have that kind of collaboration to make themselves look better to us. The thing has changed in a way now where it is not just to make our Nigerians feel better about our ability to attract whatever, but also to figure out how those songs will go and show up in those neighborhoods, in those charts.
Yes.
And it means that Rema can go and tour in India.
Yes.
You know, he can go. He can do a US tour. He can do a UK tour because of a Selena Gomez, a European tour because of a Selena Gomez feature.
Yes.
So and he can go on top 100. Is in Hot 100. How the hell does that happen?
Yeah.
It has to happen because she's there. That's why that's even possible. So that's kind of the thing. So that's an important distinction between how collaboration used to work back in the day and how it works now as we speak. Because of course, One Dance was a big record. I think it was the most whatever on Spotify the year it came out.
Yeah.
And Wizkid was there.
You know the funny thing about you just mentioned Rema now and Selena Gomez. You know that song was now released. This particular remix, so to speak, was now released as a Selena Gomez and Rema record.
Oh really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so it was released as Selena Gomez and Rema. So she released on a platform like it's her song actually, literally.
No,
it's a song.
On YouTube,
also this guy's
YouTube
song.
is on Rema's page.
You check it again. So she had it released on her own platform as well, on her own YouTube as well. So I mean, I remember why I know what I mean. I took time to actually research a bit on it about how and that particular collaboration, and that's why I actually got to see that it was also released. It was released on her platform, so it can be released on both.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
This man is right.
Yes.
So the first one was on Rema's.
Yes.
The remix is on Selena Gomez.
Yes. You know.
But what's fun is that the first one actually has at the moment has more views. It has 462 million views.
It had
and
passed.
then yes, the
because when you go and look for the
452.
song, for you know what you're going to go look for. For other people, they look for just the title, and then sometimes they
might bump in original, yes,
and whatever. So that's something to But even beyond that, back to the subject matter, Drake was a major influence when it comes to this Afro. In fact, we can actually, because before Drake, we've had the more hits, the band and Snoop Dogg. You know, we didn't go. We had the band and a whole Kanye West.
And Kanye, but that's not really a big thing.
It still didn't cross. You know, it didn't cross as. I mean, P Square and what's it called?
Rosé.
No, yeah, the Rosé one, even with Akon. In fact, I thought that P Square and Akon would have crossed major even to that because it was even around the same time where Akon was still popping, but it still didn't cross. But you see, once Wizkid did that one with Drake, bruh, it just that one legit crossed.
Yeah, but let's talk about
and made Wizkid seem like an American.
Yeah, exactly. You know a lot about the business.
Yeah.
Let's not forget again that Drake thing came out probably only because Wizkid was signed to Sony.
Oh, not probably.
Yes. So that's how.
That's part of the advantage.
So that's why.
I mean, how do you think Burna Boy is getting all of this? And why is Burna Boy where he is right now?
Atlantic Records, I mean.
Yeah, it's about
also on Sony too.
Yeah,
by
it's
extension.
also about those kind
exactly.
of.
So in fact, the point here is this: that the artistry was never in doubt.
Yes.
But the business had to get right before the artistry could grow.
Yes.
You get? So my point is, even if we had that exact same song, Wizkid, Come Closer with Drake and whatever, and it showed up 10 years ago, there's a chance that the success would not have been as it is
right now
because of the fact that Wizkid is now a Sony artist, which means that Sony can work out all of those things that they need to work out.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, I think it's been an interesting, I hope, for you guys.
Yeah,
for us.
Yeah, because I would like to, hear your take on some of these topics or some of these things that we talked about today. Let's see your comment. We'd like to know what you have to say as
by the way, the AMVCAs are coming on Saturday. We'll be back to discuss.
Saturday, yes, to discuss
the
winners and the people that are snubbed, in quotes. I don't know why they say somebody was snubbed. They say you were snubbed. But if you're nominated, you're nominated. Why are you saying snubbed?
Yeah.
They say something about nomination that if you are snubbed, they say if you're not nominated for something, they say you were snubbed. Because I feel like snubbed means that I see you, I think that you're supposed to get this, but I don't think that's what happens. So, but whatever the case is, this Saturday will be the AMVCAs, and we can. I'm a fan of it. I've been watching. I don't know if always going to get me tickets this time around, but I mean, I've been watching.
Is also hustling tickets. I got tickets last year, but after speak, I don't have. So let's see whether I will do money to get
I always look out for even the final performances, and this year we'll be having Tiwa Savage.
Tiwa's been confirmed.
Super, I think on the bill of Pepsi, who's also a sponsor.
Yes, they're also the ones they brought Lagbaja and Rema last year.
So fingers crossed. I'm looking forward to this. We'll come back to talk about discuss the winners and not the losers. I don't want to say the losers, just the winners.
Just the winners, actually.
So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.